Hey, welcome to another episode of Leancast. I am thrilled to have two special guests with me today. I have Helen Zak and Peter Hines, and they are going to be talking about a number of different subjects that will be interesting for you to hear. And they told me they could talk for hours, but we're only going to talk for just a few minutes today. So maybe another time we'll invite them back to talk about some of the other things. So one thing to know, Peter Hines, he comes from the Enterprise Excellent Network, and he supports the Shingo Institute. It's a really great organization that helps companies just do better with behavior and leadership, and they have a lot of different principles that they teach. He's also a faculty fellow, academy member, and part of the research committee. Helen Zak also is from the Shingo Institute, and she's a research director. So, with this great group here, there's a lot of good experience, and we're going to talk about a couple topics. Let's see if we can talk first about people.
Sure.
The question there is we talked a little bit about the top level behaviors, some of the micro behaviors. Let's talk about what it means to focus on the people, and why do we focus so much on them?
Well, I think the key thing, many of you will be going on some sort of lean journey or enterprise excellence, whatever you want to call it. And I think what most of us have learned is that really that journey is about people. It's about culture change. It's not about tools and techniques. And when I look at organizations that have done really well, they focused a lot on the people stuff. Organizations that fail or don't achieve stuff or it doesn't sustain well, they haven't got the people side of things. So I'll just give you one little thought here, which links to this is oh, in a lean organization, what percentage of people come in highly motivated? What do you think, Josh?
In the beginning, probably highly motivated,
Yeah.
maybe 80, 90%.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
exactly.
just ready to go.
And, the stats on this is something like 50% or less of people are motivated 6 months in. So actually, if we think about what we do in the organization, and we talked about the great resignation and trouble hiring people and et cetera like that, the issue really here is not how do you engage people, which is often what I get asked by senior managers. How do we engage our shop floor? How do we engage the middle management? How do we engage the other executives? The issue really is what have we done to demotivate our people,
Hmm.
or what have we not done to motivate our people, particularly in that first 6 months period? And that tells a lot between the difference between success with lean and not with lean. Because if you're working with a highly motivated workforce, 80, 90%, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's reasonably straightforward. If you've got 40% motivated, it's pushing water up a hill.
Hmm.
So, Helen.
Makes a lot of
Gosh,
sense.
gosh, I couldn't agree more. Right, lean is that social technical system, and 9 times out of 10, when we go out and see an organization really strong technically, but not on that people development. And I don't think I've seen an organization recently that is looking on those dissatisfiers and demotivators um, that we as leaders cause in in an organization.
What do you think are some of the things that cause that? Like what causes people after a 6 month period to lose all of that energy and enthusiasm to work and to be engaged?
I'll go first. I think there's two things. So, this goes back to some of, many of you done MBAs and you studied Hertzberg and Maslow and all these great guys, etc. I think they had the answers. Half of the answers is we do stuff or we don't do stuff that demotivates people.
Mm.
So let me give you one example of that. Think about your first day in your new job. You turn up, how are you going to be feeling? Pretty nervous, pretty
Yeah, sure.
scared, pretty have I made the right choice, etc., etc. And what happens on that first day? You get bombarded by this much information, this much number of forms, and you get completely bewildered.
Ah.
So if you think about what we do in lean, we tend to take the end-to-end process and
Mhm.
we then say, how do we make this logical and sensible and efficient? And how do we maximize the time of the executives that are giving up 1 or 2 hours for those people. That's what we tend to think about, and that's logical and sensible. But if we thought instead, or as well, for the individual themselves, what are they feeling going through that process?
Mm.
And at the result of that, what are they thinking at that process? And my guess is at least 50% of people at the end of that first day are feeling, what on earth have I let myself in for here? I'm completely overwhelmed. I'm completely, what on earth have I done? And that probably 50% of people are really thinking, did I make the right choice?
Oh.
Because what we've done is we didn't think of the employee experience. We thought
Mm.
of the process in the organization.
That's a really great example. I'm thinking right now, as you say that, I'm thinking about a new employee that I brought in just a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the experience that she's having. We were chatting just recently, and she said, yeah, there was a lot of training I had to go through. There was like 15 training videos through the bridge system. 15, wow, I didn't know we had that many. And over time, you probably get a few of those topics that get trickled to you.
Mm-hmm.
But now it just dumps into her inbox as these 15
Mm-hmm.
things that she's got to go through.
So at O.C.Tanner, do you check in with your new employees? Is there a process and some questions about how are you feeling? Is this what you expected? How could I be helpful?
Yes, yeah, we actually have we have several things that take place. We have a system that reminds the manager to pay attention to check in with the individual and see how it's going. But then we also have onboarding uh, training plans that we kind of go through to kind of go, okay, let's talk about your first week, and these are some of the people that you want to meet with, and let's kind of get a few things taken care of. Don't worry about the rest of this right now, but let's just kind of take
Nice.
this bit by bit, and then let's follow up and let's see how that went. And then let's add a little bit more to that. Or maybe there was a few things we didn't get to. That's okay. We can get back on that.
Yeah, so exactly right. So if you think about the process, people are coming in, they're scared, they're nervous, they're going to be not very receptive to new information. So you think of that first day, let's do the health and safety stuff, and let's maybe do one other thing, and then let's give them a buddy and let them just chat and spend the day finding out what the culture is like here, have chats informally with people, but
Yeah.
not any formal stuff. Ease them in, and then do the stuff we got to get through the systems and work our way through that. But maybe, one a day for an hour in a sort of bite-sized chunks, and really make them comfortable. It's probably inefficient, but actually you'll probably have motivated employees, which will be worth 1,000 times more than saving an hour's time of an executive in that first day.
Yeah, great insight. Anything you'd add to that, Helen?
Yeah, and I think as they get through their introductory period, start thinking about uh, purpose, organizational purpose, and individual purpose, and linking those together. So
Yeah,
with,
great.
without that, then you can get a little bit out of alignment.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about what both of you are saying. I feel like I'm doing, I mean, it could be better, but I feel like, yeah, we're able to address both of those things. And one of the other things that as I was talking with this employee is I want them to know that I'm here for them. I'm
Sure.
here to support them. I want them to succeed. I I have their back. And when they know that, and they know that I'm there to support them in that way, that goes a long ways.
It does.
And for this particular employee, I said, "Oh, yeah, that's good. Thank you for telling me that.
Sure.
That's helpful."
So if you go into the brain science of that, which is just useful for a moment, so what you're doing is you're giving them psychological safety to think that through. You're creating a high potential motivation for them to do that, to feel comfortable, etc. So actually, if people are working in psychologically unsafe environments, you've actually dimmed them by 30%.
Hmm.
If you create high psychological safety, you actually increase their IQ by 30%. So what you're talking about is you've kept or increased the motivation, and you've given them IQ. So basically, you've created the circumstances for success for the individual and for your business.
Yeah, good. Okay. Anything else we want to add to the people topic? One that I'm very interested in is talking about technology. And technology just seems like it's just coming at us so quickly. And as we talk about the employee's role, the people role, especially when we're talking about lean, how does technology become a companion to the individual, to the human? As we talk about, there's a lot of robotics out there, there's a lot of software out there that's making decisions for us. And where's kind of the balance there?
Should I go first?
Sure.
Okay, well, I think, I'm based in Europe, and most of my work is in Europe, and there's a big movement, the Industry 4.0 movement, which probably the term that isn't used so much here, maybe digitization or,
We
something.
talk about it quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
And I do quite a lot in that space, and the integration of lean and Industry 4.0, running cases, doing surveys, working with Helen in this space as well. And my view is this is coming, take that on board and make the best use of it.
Okay.
But think about exactly as you said, how the technology can help the human
Mhm.
rather than be a threat to the human or
Right.
displace them or actually. So if you really get it right, you actually need smarter workers who can actually think of maybe coding or programming or actually using the cobots rather than, robots instead. And I was at one company recently in Spain, which was a model factory for one of the world's large automotive suppliers.
Mhm.
And one of the things they've done is developed with a startup company a 15 point app, which was the leader standard work for the team leader. And using this, you could digitize all the sort of mundane writing down stuff, the collecting of data stuff, et cetera, which a lot of the lean folks says, oh, you got to have that and have it on sticky notes, and there's the tactile stuff, etc. The evidence with the Spanish site, we asked, did they like this or not? And they basically loved it. So we talked to the guys putting it in. We talked to like the team leader people. They loved it. And particularly the operators, they loved it. And the team leaders, their view was this saves an hour a day of my shift.
Wow.
But that hour a day of my shift, I can reinvest in
Mhm.
either the coaching and development of my people or the continuous improvement of my processes.
Wow.
And if you think about giving your team leaders, which is the hub of the improvement system
Oh
in
yeah,
companies,
absolutely.
you give them maybe the double the time they had for that stuff. Think about what you could achieve.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
that's where technology can really work. But many applications are engineers going wild, putting technology in, alienating the workforce. So, be really careful on this
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I think what you got to get is you got to get lean and technology and people as a three-legged stool. And how do we get the three to work together to get the best?
I couldn't agree more. And I want that app. So you need
Okay. I'll tell you the company offline.
and use technology wisely. But as us lean thinkers, we first say don't automate waste. So understand your process, make sure that it's running well, and then think about technology and automation. Healthcare has a tendency to use technology as that silver bullet, like that's gonna solve everything. Well, guess what? Smart use of people, process, and technology.
Yeah, it's got to be done in the right way. Hey, we'll have to end there. It's been great to meet with both of you. You should come back and visit again
Okay.
sometime,
We'll
Peter.
shake hands. I don't know if that's on camera, but
Nice to be with
I'll be
you.
back.
Good. You're a little bit closer to us, of course. And if you want to check out the Shingo Institute, it's a great organization. They have a lot of content on their website. They have a number of conferences. We just wrapped up one just recently. And if you have more questions also about Peter Hines' work with the Enterprise Excellent Network, you should definitely look him up. These guys are the real deal. So Till next time, we'll see ya.
Bye.